Good morning, afternoon, and evening. My name is Connor Henderson, and today I will be discussing how the content of conflict and change in leadership has impacted my life. I will be referring to the course material while talking about my experiences with conflict in recent years, so let's get to it. To start, I have always found myself in some form of leadership or another throughout the years. A huge part of it has to do with both my worth ethic and my willingness to pitch ideas in. While at first things might seem hunky dory, that can change over time and with the flip of a switch. Currently, there are three main areas where I find myself a leader: at my workplace, which is Target, and a guild within a game that I used to play, and a server that I help run. This server is a voice chatting app. It is called Discord, and it is a medium for which many people use. Target is, oddly enough, the smallest area of effect for the three in terms of conflict. I get along well with my coworkers and have a good relationship with all of my other leaders. Most of the conflict I go through is in the form of the trucks that come in every week. I am in charge of the unload team and go back there with them every day in order to get the product out onto vehicles so that they can be pushed throughout the day. The main issues we face are spaces to put the product in. For the most part, our staging area is almost always filled up, and so we have to discover new solutions in order to put the product in places. And the other issue we normally face are the number of vehicles we have available. A moderate truck for us is about 1,500 pieces, and that is the maximum number of cases we can get in on a truck that will max out all of our vehicles. Since the COVID situation has started, we have had to be creative with how we do things because our trucks have been 15 on average. Very, very often we'll get trucks in that will be 17, 18, 1900 pieces, and we just don't have the vehicles to keep up with the trucks. So, as I said, this is more of a problem solving operation over any interpersonal issues and any personal issues that do crop up. The team as a whole has this tendency to try to figure out how to resolve the issues. I personally have not had any issues with anyone outside of corporate strategies that have come on down the pipeline, and I have sat down and talked with my boss on this on many different occasions. And most of the time, we always end up we figure out how to best resolve it by figuring out new solutions for how these new strategies come into play. Moving on, I used to play a game religiously called Guild Wars 2. I have sunk many hours and many dollars into the game, and within it I got into something called roleplay, or RP for short. Earlier this year, I was offered a position within a political guild as the head of the guard. Considering I was both well suited for the role, as I had done a lot of policing RP prior to this, and the fact that there were no other good contenders, I took it. On an in-character level, or IC, I am not a great fit due to the fact that the character that I play is abrasive, mean, and unpleasant. They belong more on a battlefield than a stateroom. I make up for this due to a level of training I have placed myself in on an out-of-character, or OOC, level. When it comes to RP as a whole, you are essentially telling a story alongside many other people. And in order to get an outcome that both sides can either agree to or live with, communication is a key factor. And when you're dealing with many different individuals and trying to understand where they might be coming from, is kind of a big deal. This bleeds into the next area where I have become a leader, which is an RP server based off of an animated show that is produced by Rooster Teeth. Upon joining the server, I determined that it was a perfect fit for me because of the pure level of creativity that is within it. I became a staff member within a few months because I brought a passion to the table that many of the staff members held and loved. While, like before, a level of communication was needed in order to properly function, I had to essentially adopt a level of empathy that I normally don't carry. And it was needed. It is a proven fact that anyone you interact with on the internet can have a totally different mindset than you do, and both Guild Wars and RWBY have hammered that point across to me. Conflict with other people is a given, and finding common ground is important. More than that, the cool down, slow down and reflect, and engage constructively model is vital in both instances. Had I learned about this sooner, I would have much less headache than I do now, because being a semi-aggressive but brazen individual doesn't win me any awards. Going forward, everything I have learned in this course will help me immensely. It will definitely help more in my hobbies than my job right now, but using my hobbies as a test ground for practicing techniques will do me wonders on down the road. As this class comes to a close, I would like to thank everyone for their time and listening to me ramble on. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the year, and remember, COVID is temporary and we will all get through this. Best of luck, and carpe diem.